Hello, welcome to the Patron Q&A for my video about Sonic Adventure. I'm here with a very special guest this time.
Hi, it's me, Hazel's wife.
Yeah, it's my darling wife, Alyssa.
Yep.
We used to do a long time ago. We used to
Before we were even dating.
Yeah.
We did a test run of it.
We did a show about Sonic the Hedgehog.
And then we started dating and we were like, let's try that again, but now we're dating.
Yeah, and then we did it for a little while, and then all of those videos went away, and they're never coming back.
They're never coming back,
but I'm fond of them in theory, so I figured this was a perfect opportunity for us to get together and
a little reunion tour.
Yeah, exactly. Every now and again, I still get comments saying like, yeah, when's the next Talk Sonic to me? Like, those are the reels. Like, those people are such reels that it embarrasses me whenever they ask, because I'm like, oh God,
you've been
you
here
remember
since
that.
day one.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, no promises, but I wouldn't be against someday rebooting that series in a different form.
It'd be a fun thing to do, like on your channel or on my on this second channel.
Just kind of as a fluff piece. You know, if there's one thing I love, it's Sonic. And if there's a second thing I love almost as much, it's my wife. And if there's a third thing I love even more, it's talking to my wife about Sonic.
Yeah.
So
I agree. But yeah, I figured that having you on would also be helpful because I'm a fucking scatterbrain. Like, I don't know if you people have noticed listening to this.
Yeah, not to roast you, but when I came home one day and you were recording a Patreon Q&A, I just heard you sitting in your chair going, so yeah,
Yeah, it literally took me
Wife has blue screen.
Yeah, it took me 4 hours to edit the last one of these. Because I had to remove so much, like, stalling.
It's hard to talk by yourself. That's why I stopped doing Let's Plays by myself.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't do Let's Plays, period, but in my teens, I was like, I'm going to become a Let's Player.
Yeah,
so I
me
recorded
too.
a lot of videos, and it's just fucking awkward to talk to myself.
Yeah, so I figured that having I feel like...
Sorry, am I allowed to say fuck this early in the video?
Of course. I don't monetize any of these. Okay. I don't even have monetization set up on this second channel.
Bitches! Fuck!
But yeah, I figured that since no one better knows how to corral my train of thought than you, that having you on for this would be perfect. And also corral your train of thoughts
about Sonic.
Yeah, exactly. So...
Hi, everyone. You're not invested in me at all, but I'm here.
But you will be by the end of this. Why do I feel like I'm getting, like, extra creaky over here? What's going on?
You creaking it up?
Yeah, I'm sitting in a different part of the desk than usual. Okay, let's get into it.
All right.
So first off, Demi Lembius asks, do you find reading or studying history interesting? If so, what region or era interests you most? So I love reading about history when it is for the sake of working on a video. I really find myself drawn to, like, all right, if I'm gonna tackle a subject, like, I want to be able to give myself excuse me, I want to be able to give myself the time to really, like, immerse myself in the context. Obviously I don't think art needs to be viewed within a broader historical or cultural context, but I have a lot of fun looking at it through that lens.
Yeah, if it's for a means and an end, Hazel can study anything endlessly. Like, it doesn't matter where or what or when.
Yeah.
She'll be like, oh, I'm gonna do a video about Sonic. It's time for me to study the ecological implications of 9/11 because this somehow ties into something I have to say about one thing in Sonic.
Yeah, well, I mean, I did actually do a good bit of research on all of the different ruins that were across South and Central America for this video, because I really wanted to make sure that I got my facts straight. I definitely still fucked one or two things up, I guarantee it, but...
Yeah, obviously I'm no professional on it, but I especially imagine, like, South American architecture is one of those things that gets kind of, like, ambiguously blobbed into a monolith. Oh, sorry, can I open the window for
Yeah,
Wander?
I was just about to ask. Yeah, go ahead and open the blinds.
Him staring at the blinds is making me sad.
Wander loves to stare out the window.
There you go.
We only recently cleared off enough space for him to be able to do that. And he's found a late career passion in it.
He likes to people watch.
Goji Dragon says, Never played Sonic Adventure, but I did play Sonic Rush and Sonic Colors on the DS.
Wow.
Also Sonic Heroes. Any thoughts on those or any other Sonic games you've played?
I don't know about the Sonic Colors DS port, but I know that the Sonic Generations DS port was so stinky.
Yeah, I never played that one.
I was like heartbroken because I didn't have any systems to play Sonic Generations, but I badly wanted to play Generations. So I asked for it on my DS for my birthday. Or I guess maybe that was 3DS.
Yeah, I think it was 3DS.
Either way, it was stinky, and I was really disappointed by what a bad port it was.
I want to say that Rush and maybe Colors as well were handled by Dimps. I really liked Sonic Rush.
People really like Rush. I only really know the soundtrack.
Yeah, by Big Chungus.
Yeah.
I'm gonna fucking throttle that dude.
If I see that guy, if I ever see that guy,
like instantly tanked any charm I had for that soundtrack.
I still love the soundtrack though, and I love Blaze.
Yeah, no, Blaze is great. Yeah, I think that game does a lot of really clever stuff with DS hardware.
Yeah. Yeah, I have no opinion on.
That's what I'm hearing.
Oh, you're squeaking up against your keyboard.
Yeah. Okay, there we go. That's solved. Yeah, I love Sonic Heroes. It's probably like my second or third favorite Sonic game if I were to put them into a list.
Sonic Heroes has a lot of like... Sonic Heroes is a good amalgam of Sonic Charm and Sonic Jank. Like the best of both all in one place.
Yeah.
Like, Sonic Heroes is a strangely mushy looking game.
Yeah.
And it's like the parts of it that are cute and charming, I would say, are like maybe not even as good as Adventure 1 and 2's best moments of gameplay, but like just a very...
It's the most like... If Sonic Adventure is the most hangoutable Sonic game, Sonic Heroes is the most like brain off, like chill outable Sonic game, at least of the 3D era.
Yeah, Heroes is an odd one. I like it though.
Colin Jason says, this isn't a question, but Yonoid 2 slaps. It does.
True.
That game's so fucking good. Jolly Sakura asks, what are some of your favorite Rilo Kiley songs? Definitely too many to name, but obviously I adore A Better Son, Daughter. That song's great. See, a lot of the ones that come to mind are some of their bigger songs. Like, With Arms Outstretched is, like, one of my favorite songs ever
I always feel like
written.
a schmuck when my favorite bands... Or when a band's songs that are my favorite...
Yeah.
Are, like, the 5, like, top most played on Spotify.
Yeah.
So when that happens, I have to, like, be an asshole and find, like, a weird one.
Yeah.
And have that also be a favorite.
Yeah.
So that I sound like at least a little bit of a taste haver.
Yeah. There's a particular song on, The Execution of All Things. I'm literally gonna look it up right now because I know that I don't remember the name of it offhand. That like nobody ever talks about. I mean, I love the title track. That song's amazing. My Slumbering Heart. That song's so good. Yeah, that's one of my favorite albums ever. It's really good. I also love a lot of stuff on their first record. I kind of feel like that one gets swept under the rug, even though it was the only one that I heard for a long time. Alyssa, are you able to see Wander like basically gazing into his own reflection from my angle? Can you see that?
Yeah. Narcissist. Sorry, I've only heard the Kylo Ren Lee that you've played for me, so I have no opinion.
That's fine. Lucia G asks, you seem to be a fan of Danganronpa. Do you enjoy any other adjacent mystery or visual novel series like Ace Attorney, Zero Escape?
How did you get Dangan clocked?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to figure out.
When have you mentioned Dangan recently?
I don't think I have.
Maybe it's because you made that Komaeda post.
Oh, yeah, maybe. Or no, I think this was before that. Gosh, what would it be? I'm not sure. Either way, you're not wrong. I have played the first 3 games.
The only 3 games.
Well, yeah, actually. I've actually engaged with like the vast majority of that franchise.
For better or for worse.
Yeah.
I'm the Dangan liker in this household, so it's an unfortunate side effect of being married to me.
Yeah, she wears the Komaeda pants in the relationship.
Ugh. Wretched.
I like Ace Attorney was, I think, my first visual novel.
That was a lot of Americans' first visual novel.
Yeah, exactly.
A lot of visual novel fans will bristle at calling Ace Attorney a visual novel, though.
Let's just say I have a 10,000 word detritus on that coming up. I don't even think detritus is the right word. It's fine. It doesn't matter.
I have meant to play Zero Escape since forever. Oh, I'm getting stung by bees.
Oh yeah, Alyssa's fucking gaming on the clock right now. But yeah, no, that video that I mentioned is not about Ace Attorney, but it is about visual novels in a much broader scope. Let's see. I haven't played the Zero Escape games.
Yeah, I know that I will probably like them.
Yeah, same here.
I just love a good visual novel mystery game.
Yeah, I think... This is a weird pull, but I really like Princess Tomato, the NES game.
Does that count?
I wouldn't quite call it a mystery, but it's definitely like an archetypical Japanese style adventure game. And I think that game's just swell. I love all the character art. It's super cute. It's so weird that game got localized.
Oh, I forgot it got localized.
Yeah.
I thought that was a fan translation.
I know. Stephen Favel says, when I was a kid, my brother and I never played Sonic games, but were obsessed with the Archie comic Sonic universe, drawing ridiculous amounts of fan art and all. Did you ever read the comics? Oh, you literally say Fable down at the bottom.
Fable?
It's Stephen Fable. Thank you for specifying. Yeah, thank you for specifying. Anybody who says how their name is pronounced, big help. Yeah, so I had a few issues of the comics growing up, but because it's like astonishingly dense, I didn't understand what the fuck was going on. I had like one of the issues that like reintroduced Scourge, and like a few others here and there. I think I had the run where they were retelling Sonic X.
Yeah, my least favorite thing in the entire world about most American serialized comics is that it's fucking impossible to keep up with what's going on unless you just buy all of it.
Yeah.
Like, even when you just buy an arc, there would always be notes at the bottom like, read issue 69 of the Sonic Blood Pact arc to find out what the fuck they're talking about.
Yeah.
And it's like, what? I'm 10, I don't have money! Sonic, you're bleeding me dry here!
Yeah.
Sorry, I had some pent-up rage.
No, I'm with you for sure. I tried reading all of them. I was reading an issue a day for a little while.
Yeah, so I mean, like...
And it's incomprehensible, even starting from the fucking beginning.
Even if you start from the beginning, it makes no sense, so, like, lose-lose.
Yeah.
But as a kid, I had the, was it the Mega Collection or the Gem Collection that had a bunch of the comic covers?
I'm not sure. It was one of the two.
One of the Sonic collections had a huge... Like, I think it was either up until that point, all the covers of the comics.
Yeah.
And I spent so much time in that gallery just, like, gazing at the covers, wondering what each issue was about.
Yeah.
And the other thing is, because my money was limited, sometimes I would just buy comics based on which ones had covers that looked good to me.
I still do
And
that.
I would be so bitterly disappointed if, like, I bought it because there was a character on the cover I wanted to see and they didn't actually show up or do anything.
How often was that? That's crazy.
And this is something I didn't understand until I was older, that usually the cover artist is not the inside artist.
Yeah.
So I would buy shit being like, ooh, the cover art is so pretty. And then the inside would be drawn by fucking Ken Penders or whatever. And I would be so mad.
There was a while where I was like desperate to see the appeal of American comics. And every time I'd go to the local comic book store, shouts out to Brian's Comics in Petaluma, California, I fucking was just like desperate to find something where the art was appealing. And sometimes they'd have guest cover artists, and I'd be like, whoa, this art looks gorgeous.
Yeah.
I bet the inside of this comic looks good too.
Like,
and then it was just normal fucking cape shit.
Even if you find fucking an artist that you like, they don't draw all the volumes. So it's like, get fucked for this art because Comics McGee is drawing this one and it looks like ass. So yeah, I just don't really like American comics. I tried really hard to like them as a kid.
Yeah.
I really wanted to get into the Sonic comics just because it felt like a whole world of like lore and characters.
Like at this
I didn't
point,
have
there's like 3 times as much Sonic story content in the comics than in any of the games.
Yeah, that's true. I remember I really liked Mina, the mongoose.
I don't think I know her. Let me look her up.
She's got purple hair. She's kind of like a fucking Mary Sue. She's like a pop idol, and she's another Sonic love interest. But
wow, I cannot spell
I
at this
thought
angle.
she was cute. Mina Mogoose.
Oh,
Mina
she's so cute.
Yeah, she's cute. I like her.
Born in the day 340, 3,220.
Fuck
Man,
Fuck it.
Fuck it.
But yeah, that's my scattershot thoughts on Sonic comics.
Yeah, same here.
I do enjoy them. I want to read the IDW comics.
Yeah.
Really bad.
Yeah, the art's so cute.
They've been doing that arc about, I just tweeted about her yesterday, the Scourge replacement girl.
Yeah.
Because Ken Penders took Scourge with him in the divorce, so they had to make a Scourge XB, and she's fucking 10 times cuter and better.
Yeah, she's so cute.
So, I love
I'll start reading the IDW comics when they reintroduce Honey the cat.
I know, I miss Honey. Dude, I just miss Bunny.
Yeah, I love Bunny. I feel like... I wish that the timelines had converged such that she could have been in at least one video game.
I know.
Because there were a few games that took after the American comics and their aesthetics and stuff. Or the American shows and their aesthetics and stuff.
The fucking Chronicles. I don't think Bunny wanted to be in that one.
Oh, wait. Does Sonic Chronicles...
I mean, it's not directly based on the game or on the comics, to my understanding, but it's like it's Echidna lore kind of.
Did Penders try to sue BioWare for that?
Yes.
Whoa,
he made,
that's
like,
crazy.
A huge fuss about it too.
Bitch man.
Bitch man.
Emily Curran says, in this video, you speak a lot about the freedom of Sonic Adventure's gameplay and its unique visuals give it a really strong identity. Do you think that if Sonic Adventure was ever remade, it would have the same amount of charm, or are the things that make it so interesting the byproduct of the limitations of that era?
I don't think it would be as good.
Yeah, I hate to say it. I feel like unless games just admit that development kind of peaked at the PS2 era and that we should probably just keep making games that look like PS2 games, we're just going to continue to get shitty asset flips. I watched a little bit of Cybershell stream 06, and I think it's charming in its own way, because I'm fully down to recognize that the 360 and PS3 generation has its own aesthetic. But as far as, like, that game's look goes, it is vacuous. It looks like you could, like, I think Cybershell jokes, like, it looks like you should be doing Yakuza side quests in a lot of that game. And even that, I think, is giving the environments too much credit, because Yakuza is so dense and packed in.
Yeah.
Like, all the buildings are giant and square and carry, like, absolutely no distinguishing factors from one another. I still think
in some ways it's a way better looking game than, like, Sonic Forces.
Oh, absolutely.
Like,
absolutely.
Sonic Forces is, like, technically better looking, quote unquote, but, like, that game is, like, personality-less in a way that...
It's depressing to think about Forces.
Yeah. Forces makes me sad.
Like, I think I went to 06 because I feel like it's still kind of endemic of a lot of what modern games look like, unless they are able to have the budget to, like, crunch their employees into dust hard enough into making, like, every single texture unique and every single grain of rice have its own unique physics and shit. I definitely feel like that post that's like, I want shorter, shittier games
made by people paid more.
Yeah, and I'm not kidding, or whatever. I really feel that.
Yeah.
I feel like that's honestly a big part of why I'm not nearly as drawn to modern games. And why, unfortunately, like, a lot of what I find myself drawn to are Nintendo games, because I feel like they're made within their limitations. Like, I'm frustrated by how underpowered the Switch is for literally anything but first-party Nintendo games. Yeah. But the byproduct is that they're having to work within limitations that breed more creativity.
I don't know that that's a 1-to-1, but I see what you mean.
Well, I guess I more so mean like they recognized that their console didn't need to be as powered as the other systems for them to make the kinds of games that matter.
Dick pump 4K, 150 FPS, Tom and Jerry upscale.
Yeah. Yeah, no, seriously. I'm so excited for that fucking Kirby game.
Yeah, I really cannot wait. I've wanted that game for 20 years.
Seriously. Samantha Cecilia says, I super read your last name wrong. Samantha Celica? I'm gonna guess Celica, like the Celica car. I think that's a car. Hello, Hazel. I really agree with the notion that loudness and vibrance as seen in Sonic Adventure for the Dreamcast is always cooler. What would you say the core elements of the 90s loudness are? Are there any modern examples that represent them? P.S. My dad's favorite level when I played SA for the first time was Lost World, because in his words, it looks like Aztec from Counter-Strike. That's really cute. That's very cute.
Cute.
I honestly feel like Saturn era Sega really embodies that. Like Sonic Jam, Jet Set Radio, when it got to the Dreamcast, and Nights into Dreams in particular, like the lighting in Nights is so like aggressively vibrant that
I love it.
It is almost nauseating to look at. I love it. I think that game looks amazing.
Yeah. Sega just really had coolness figured out.
Yeah, absolutely. As far as other elements of 90s loudness that, say, aren't necessarily strictly in the video game realm, I'm trying to think if there are any anime that really embody that. Because I'm thinking, like... Yeah, nothing's coming to mind.
Yeah, not for me either. I do feel like, I feel like there's an obvious answer here that isn't coming to mind for me.
Yeah, same here. Maybe we'll remember later on and it'll come back up.
Yeah.
Elijah Sadaki says, I just wanted to say that your cat is very cute, and I was wondering if there was a story behind his name.
Yeah, Wander was my cat before I started... Well, no, he was my cat while I was dating you, but it was before we moved in together. My previous cat had just died at a very tragic young age, and while I was mourning his loss, I was gifted Wander while he was a kitten, and because he was fuzzy and orange and loved to explore, I named him after Wander from Wander Over Yonder, which is still probably my favorite American cartoon. That's it.
Yeah. Occasionally I have people ask if he's named after the character in Shadow of the Colossus.
I get asked that a lot.
And every time I get asked that, I have to bow in repentance that no, I've actually never played Shadow of the Colossus.
Yeah. I always feel bad. Everyone's like, what? I'm like, I'm sorry, there's no anime girls or like cute things in it, so I'm not gonna play it. I'm not gonna play it, I'm sorry, it's not cute.
I'm more interested in playing Eco than Shadow of the Colossus.
Oh yeah, me too.
Classic contrarian. Celeste Menagel asks, with the huge contrast in the kinds of games you've mentioned on this channel, are there any other games that you expect to make videos on or consider making videos on at some point? I would love to do more like almost like series retrospectives. I know that I don't have the time to put into playing through like big massive series, but there are so many franchises.
Sonic's kind of a cheating one because we've played all those games so many times you almost don't even need to replay them for research. Like I would love to do a retrospective on the Shining series by Camelot, just because there's so many interesting games going on there. Like one of those games is made by fucking Grasshopper,
Suda's studio. There are some games that they co-made with the studio that made like Landstalker. I would love to just take a deep dive on like weird Genesis RPGs, because like Shining Force 2 was my first RPG because of the Sega Smash Pack. And, you know, likewise goes for, like, there are just, like, a lot of game franchises that I would love to really take a deep dive into, because I wouldn't have an excuse to were it not for a video. But it's really hard to pitch those kinds of videos.
Yeah.
I find that if I am going to do more videos on games, unless they're games that have a pre-built audience, like the Sonic franchise, it's probably going to be taking the more, like grab bag approach. Like what Thor does, because I think that format really works out really well, and it limits the scope, or it keeps the scope from being limited to people who are interested in a particular game, to more so somebody who's interested in a particular type of game or a console's library.
That gives you a wider breadth of topics to talk about.
Yeah, and I tend to like talking about things in that more rapid fire way.
If ever you had a reason or an angle with which to discuss this kind of thing, I would love to collab on a Rule of Rose video with you someday.
You know, I get a lot of people asking if I'll ever do one, and I honestly, like, I know it sounds so pretentious. That speaks for itself. Yeah, it's a game that speaks for itself, and the tragedy of it is that it's so difficult to let speak for itself, both because, like, ultimately, like, you kind of have to read the wiki. Like, I hate to say it, but it's one of those things that I think you really need to, like, play with someone who has already played it and who already gets it. I don't think I would have had a good time playing that game if I hadn't had you alternating reading the walkthrough and explaining what was going on.
Yeah, I mean, one of my favorite things about, for a while, I think it's gone now tragically, but it had its own, like, not even like a wiki, like a website. I think it was just called like Rule of Rose Theories or something like that, where people just talked about different ways of interpreting the events of the game, and I thought that was so, like, unlike anything else. That people were so interested in that game that, I don't know, they were willing to interpret it in a flexible
which is so
way.
Interesting, because that's why I don't really want to talk about it, because I know exactly what that game means, even if I can't deliberately put it into words, because it like Chainsaw Man, like Fire Punch, like so many other media that I know I'll never be able to talk about. Well, it hit me on a very cerebral level.
I feel like with Fire Punch and Chainsaw Man, there isn't as much there to necessarily flexibly interpret. More so that the series is so strong that there's kind of not really anything to say.
Definitely.
Rule of Rose definitely hits me a little more like something like Petscop, where like the enjoyment is even more so in Petscop, literally interpreting it as you see it and as you feel it.
And I think what works so well about that is that Petscop is so easy to watch and to form your own opinion on, whereas something like Rule of Rose, it would be really hard for me to balance giving a proper history on the game's development and talking about its themes without inherently injecting my own opinion on it, and that's hard. That's a hard thing to balance.
People have content of people telling other people how to feel about things they don't know how to feel about them.
and I do understand that. I just feel apprehensive because I don't really think that my word is law.
Sorry, I just realized I took us on like 3 different rabbit
That's totally fine. That's totally fine.
This wasn't even about Rule of Rose. I was just thinking about how much we like that game and how fun it would be to talk about it.
Kai V asks for my opinions on Sonic's most iconic line, and then links to a Twitch clip. You know, it's crazy that they let him say that, but I think, you know, it's what America really needed to hear at that time. Stephen Nugent asks if I've played Sonic Unleashed, shares some of the same mad energy and ambition, the wacky RPG-inspired hub worlds with real-life inspirations, make Sonic Adventure such a delight. Weird side note, Big Mode in Adventure felt really profound to me, being forced to play as this slow, untalented cat who just passes his time fishing, while speedy heroes save the world. That's so cool.
I have so much to say about Big the Cat right now. Like, I agree so strongly. I think having a mode in a game where your goal is to go fast and be cool, where you're forced to slow down and really like sink into the beautiful environments. Like, I almost feel like in retrospect, I'm really regretting we didn't take time to do Big's mode before you did your video, because it's a video about how beautiful Sonic Adventure is. It would have been perfect to take some time to just sit with Big the Cat and drink in the atmosphere. But yeah, my favorite thing about Big the Cat is that he's just a guy. He's like actually literally hashtag just a guy. He is just a dude who was chilling in the forest with his frog, like listening to Jimmy Buffett.
And smoking mad kush.
Doing.
Yeah.
And no. And he just kind of accidentally gets like tangentially wrapped up in this like really huge, like bigger than he can comprehend thing.
Yeah.
And even then, he's still not really important to it. He doesn't play any kind of important role to the main story, nor does he help resolve it in any meaningful way. His pet just kind of like got involved.
Yeah.
And he's just kind of like, well, shoot. My cat got out of the house. I gotta go catch it. Oh fuck! My cat accidentally integrated into God.
Yeah.
Like, that's such a weird side story idea, and I love that it's there. And I think that's one of the things that's so special about how strange Sonic Adventure is.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because nowadays, if they made Big story, I feel like it'd be like, oh, but it turns out Big the Cat is related to an ancestor of Chaos, the god of destruction, and actually Big the Cat holds a key to defeating, like, they would inject importance into him that doesn't need to be there. It's okay for him to just be a guy.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I love Big, and I wish that I understood how to play his game.
If we ever
a few people in the comments said, like, yeah, you literally just have to press down.
No, like, it's definitely got a finicky feeling to it. Like, every time I play it again, I have to, like, reteach myself how his mode feels.
Yeah.
But once you get it, you get it. So we should stream it sometime.
Yeah. Also, I've only ever played the Wii version of Sonic Unleashed, which doesn't have the hub worlds. I would really like to go back and play it. The Werehog stages are some ass for sure, but those daytime stages are just lovely. I really like Boost era Sonic. I think it really capitalizes on how fun it feels to go fast.
Unfortunately, I don't like Boost era Sonic because I feel like it sacrifices your default speed for like a moment of mashing the A button.
Yeah.
Whereas in SA1 and 2, you're fast all the time, and how you use it as a tool rather than just a moment's reprieve.
I think they're different flavors. They're different flavors.
There's things I like about both, but I definitely don't prefer Boost era the way
I don't
people
either.
do.
Yeah. Also, the game that you were asking about is a Dr. Slump game. The name of the game was on screen. Yeah, gotta love that funny little bitch. Funny little robot bitch.
Gosh, she's a robot.
Elias Rosner asks, how many times have you beaten Sonic Adventure? Or better question, how many hours do you think you've spent exploring the wilderness of Sonic Adventure's glitch-filled world? I'll answer that before answering your second question. It's hard for me to gauge how many times I've beaten it because I actually was trying to learn how to speedrun it for a little while. That's why I know like a few offhanded weird sequence breaks. But I actually haven't, I never counted how many times I'd beaten it. I want to say I maybe played it like, gosh, more than 20 times to Sonic Stories completion.
If you count completing Sonic Stories beating it. Then, this kind of an aside, but speaking of hours put into Sonic games, one time our beloved friend Christina came over to my place to play Sonic Heroes with me and our friend, and she popped in her memory card and her file had maxed out the amount of time that the game could log. And I was like, Christina? And she was like, look, it's hard to get perfect ranks on all the missions in this game, okay? Like, immediately on the defense.
Yeah.
But I think about that every time I think about putting hours into Sonic games.
Yeah.
Like, nobody was on the grind set harder than her.
I mean, didn't she also complete Shadow the Hedgehog?
Oh, yeah.
Almost
Christina is like a capital G gamer.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
no one games like she does.
Yeah. And then Elias also asks, this is pure curiosity. Did you ever encounter any progress stalling bugs? Because DX was the second game I ever owned, and I literally couldn't get past the second level because the gem never appeared.
What?
And then I got trapped in the casino level. I don't think I've ever returned to it, but this makes me want to break it back out. I super haven't. If I have, it's been as simple as like, you know, like the clip I showed where we jumped through a hoop, or we jumped into a goal, and it just didn't register because we flew past it. And then, you know, you just restart and go back and it's fine.
Yeah.
I don't think I've encountered anything super game breaking, although I'm fairly certain I have in other Sonic games. Probably most others, in fact. Frankenbell asks, what are some of your other favorite games and game hubs to wander around besides Sonic Adventure?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Also, what's your favorite Boris album? Again, this is another instance where my favorites are some of their most popular, but I love Akuma no Uta and I love Pink. Shouts out, though, to their collaboration with Merzbow. Clatter, the one from 2011. That's a great record.
I thought you were answering the video game hubs question. I was like, what the fuck games are those?
What other hubs do I love? There's a really cozy town in Gurumin, which is a Falcom developed 3D action RPG.
It's an easy one, but I feel like Delfino, right?
Yeah, of
Plaza?
course. Delfino Plaza has some of the most connectivity of any of those games, and how it plays with what you can see in the skyboxes.
Oh yeah, everyone's talked about that, but I love that about
little
Mario
Wander's
Sunshine.
here.
Hi, Wander. I'm gonna bite you. Wow, you did not like that. I'm gonna bite you again.
This isn't animal abuse. He's got so much fur he doesn't feel it.
Yeah.
Les is not sinking her full teeth in. That's a promise. Oh, look at you. You fucked up little guy. I love you so much.
So fucked up. I love you, Wander. Aww. You fucked up little man. I also loved the island in Donkey Kong 64. I spent a lot of time swinging around.
Wander, no.
Wander!
Oh, that was so scary.
We took away his chair.
Oh, we took it. That's the only reason why he jumped up.
Yeah. I love the hub in...
Does he not realize that the table is higher to jump up on than his little perch? We're playing inside baseball about our cat right now. I'm sorry.
It's fine. I love the Donkey Kong Island, Donkey Kong 64. I spent a lot of time playing in Donkey Kong's house and swinging from vines and imagining what his little monkey life was like.
That's so cute.
Yeah, and I was also scared to leave, so that's like most of what I played as a kid.
I'm trying to think if there were any games that had hubs that I really explored as a kid. I mean, Mario 64's castle is a big one for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, that's a good one. I miss hubs. I feel like games have been really moving away from like hub worlds, and I miss it so bad.
I guarantee you, I would like Mario Odyssey like 4 times more than I do if it had a hub area. I shit you not. I played through half of that game like, okay, we're gonna unlock the hub area, and then it never fucking came.
Yeah, I love Odyssey, but I agree.
I just like hub areas. It's fun to wander.
Yeah.
Adam Saunders asks, what's your favorite bit of Sonic trivia? Or your favorite story from Sonic's long history of ups and downs?
Well, I thought Sonic's time in I was gonna make some kind of joke about him going to jail for injuring a cop at the Macy's parade, but I couldn't like quite tie it together. So imagine it was funny.
Yeah.
Imagine
that is honestly one of my favorite pieces of Sonic lore. The fact that he injured a cop and a child is so fucking funny. Yeah, Sonic truly is the only blue life that matters.
True. Favorite story from Sonic's history? Like story in the games or story
I assume
about
stories
the series?
from development and stuff like that. Oh man, there's so many. It's almost hard to narrow it down.
Yeah.
I wish I had gotten to fit this into the video, but I found out recently, because like a lot of people know that Shadow the Hedgehog was made because fans kept demanding that they give Sonic a gun. But I found out that the first time they tried to sate fans who wanted Sonic to have a gun was Gamma's story. So not
gunny enough.
Yeah, exactly. They did that. And it was like, well, that's not Sonic with a gun. That's different.
That's a robot.
Yeah, so then they did it with Shadow, and then fans were like, okay, fuck, we'll stop asking.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean it. Yeah, I mean, I think this is common knowledge by now, but they fully intended to kill Shadow the Hedgehog off, like, permanently at the end of SA2.
So crazy.
But the fan response to him was so positive that they're like, well, fuck, I guess we gotta find a reason why he's alive.
Yeah.
I don't enjoy Shadow the Hedgehog as a video game, but I do enjoy that, even though ultimately they did pick a canon from that game, that it explores different possibilities for how Shadow could still be alive.
Yeah.
Like the fact that
it's really ambitious.
He could be an android, he could be a clone, he could be, you know, this, that, or the other. I think that's a really fun way of approaching bringing back a character who is supposed to be dead.
Yeah. I think a lot of my favorite bits of Sonic trivia are honestly things that have come up in like Pat Mac's videos. Like he's got a lot of really cool, like super in-depth Sonic lore about some of the merchandise that's super interesting.
Pat Mac is probably one of my like hands down favorite YouTubers.
Yeah, hands down, 100%.
He makes me happy.
Yeah. Alicia asks if I've ever played Jazz Jackrabbit. I haven't, but I know it's kind of like an American take on Sonic. Do you not? Yeah, the green rabbit.
Show him to me.
Cliff Blazinski, the Gears of War guy.
What?
Worked on this game in the 90s.
Oh, dude, this guy looks like the fucking weed My Little Pony fan character. Do you know what I'm talking about? The one in the Tumblr post that's like, what the fuck, are we talking horses?
Yeah.
That's my only opinion of Jazz Jackrabbit.
That's so fucking funny. Sarah Elliott asks, what are your thoughts on Sonic 06? That's obviously broken even compared to Sonic Adventure, but I can't hate it because it feels so much like so much genuine effort went into it. Love its earnest attempt at telling a serious, somber fantasy story using Sonic characters, even if that was a mistake.
Agreed.
I completely, fully agree.
Agreed.
I actually haven't played 06. I really want to, but I've never been able to find it for cheap enough. And now that I have a job where I make money by doing stupid shit like playing video games, thank you all so much.
Yeah.
I broke 900 patrons today. You're all so amazing. Thank you so much.
Congratulations.
Yeah,
me and a group of college friends, as we were oft wont to do when we were manic and midterms were due, went out at like 1 a.m. on the hunt for a copy of Sonic 06 because we decided as a group that we were determined to play it right then, right there. I also think maybe this was on my birthday one year, so we were extra like, we gotta play Sonic 06 because it's Alyssa's birthday. And I was like, yeah, okay, let's do that. So we like went out on a hunt for the game, and then when we finally found a place that was open that was carrying it, because I think this was when what did we play this on? The Xbox?
It was the 360.
The 360?
Yeah.
Maybe 360 games were like kind of on the out or whatever. Anyway, we finally found it, and it was fucking like $30.
Yeah,
and
I've never been able to find that game for cheaper than 20.
The dude who rung us up was like, are you sure you want to buy, like, you know what this game is, right? Like, he warned us, and we're like, yeah, we know exactly what we're doing. He's like, okay, do you want to insure it? And we're like, we're not fucking paying more money for this fucking $30 game. Anyway, skip to hours later while we were in the middle playing it. Mind you, we were having a great time, and we got a lot out of it. I made a joke that was so bad that one of my friends fell off the couch laughing, bumped the 360, which then made the worst noise I've ever heard a game console make. We were scared, and the music in the game stopped playing, but we could still play, so we kept going, and then eventually the game froze. So we ejected it, and there was a scratch in it so deep, it was like someone took like
their car
just,
keys
like a pickaxe and like a giant ridge into it. Like they were trying to make a fucking record out of that motherfucker.
Yeah.
So yeah, then the game was no longer playable, and we had not gotten the insurance on it.
I love that story so much. The best part about that story is that I was there the first time you guys went looking for it, and we couldn't find it, so we went back.
Oh God, I forgot this was multiple times.
Yeah. So it was like a story in the making.
Yeah.
Oscar Franco asks, genuinely curious, what's your opinion on the Archie Sonic comics, since you appreciate wonky art styles? I have to say, something about the Archie Sonic style up until like the 2000s, when like Ian Flynn and all those other people took over, I just can't get it. Like, even from the wonk perspective, I can't really get into it.
It varies for me from comic to comic. Sometimes it's charming, sometimes it's unlookable for me.
Yeah, I was just never crazy about the Mohawk Sonic that a lot of American iterations wanted to give him.
Yeah.
Oscar also asks about my favorite 70s exploitation film. It's too hard to pick. There's so many. I feel like if I had to pick one that I could see myself recommending, oh man, I'm gonna pull up my Letterboxd really quickly. Alyssa, what's your favorite 70s exploitation film?
You know I don't have one.
I know.
I can't even think of a joke because all I watch is baby movies.
Yeah.
Stupid idiot baby movies.
Let's see. A lot of these movies are just like so oh, you know what? I'm gonna say Kathy's Curse. I'm gonna say it's not my favorite, but that's one that I can recommend in good faith. Kathy's Curse is this weird, like, it's like one of those like supernatural, like possessed child kind of movies, but it's like one of the most like whacked out Canadian films. I don't know why I specified in that context it was Canadian. It is a Canadian film, and it is super whacked out and super weird and really off kilter. I really like that movie's vibe. It's barely comprehensible. Globby asks, did Sonic Adventure 2 capture any of the same magic for you? And Shadow, ... What's up with that guy? So Sonic Adventure 2 didn't capture the same magic. It captured a different kind of magic, where when I think that game is the least fun when you are having to go through it linearly, save for experiencing the story. And then after you've unlocked all the stages and you can kind of start going through the different missions and getting S ranks on everything, and then using that as an excuse to grind out stuff for the Chow Garden, that is where I think that game really coalesces into something special. Because I think it kind of puts you into this perspective where, silly as it sounds, the stages themselves become almost like hub areas. I think that there are a lot of really fun, weird challenges that the game comes up with that really knock any of the medallion stuff from Sonic Adventure 1 out of the water.
Yeah. I mean, SA2 is weird because a lot of the stages that people hate or like see as really tedious, like any of the treasure hunting stages, I feel like for the most part are so engraved into my long-term memory that I don't really see them as tedious. Like I know where to go, I know what to do, so they're not a problem. End of thought.
As for Shadow, Alyssa, you're the resident Shadow fan between us.
I love him. He's my little guy. I have unfortunately fallen prey to the Final Fantasy XIV Siren song. When I was trying to make my character, I was joking around because I wasn't like really getting attached to any of the characters I was making. I was like, I'm gonna make Shadow the Hedgehog in this game, so I jokingly made him. And then I was like, wait, no, this is the one I'm really attached to. I love Shadow the Hedgehog. I think he is just a wonderful little guy. I think his angst and his backstory is all heightened by the fact that he's 3 feet tall.
Yeah.
True manlet representation.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm just saying shit. I like him. He's great. I love how self-serious he is. But then he still says stuff like, I'm the coolest. Rules.
Does he say that?
Yeah. Yeah, he's got a line in, I don't remember. I think it's in in the battle against Sonic, when he like attacks you, he's like, "I'm the coolest."
That's so funny. He's so lame.
Fucking lame.
I love him.
I love you.
Choice Stick asks, have you played Psychonauts? And if so, do you have any thoughts on it? It's one of my favorite games for a lot of the same reasons you talked about loving Sonic Adventure, especially that it also has broken platforming physics that can let you go to some unintended places. That part of the video especially reminded me of why I love watching Psychonauts 1 speedruns, because there's so much broken about the game that they take advantage of. And Psychonauts 2, while generally still really awesome, I love it about as much. It's a lot tighter and more polished, and so it's smoother gameplay experience. But as a result, there's a lot less paths you can take in defiance of developer intent, so speedruns aren't as interesting to watch. I'd say definitely give Psychonauts 2 some time. I have a feeling that those routes will be found. The really early days of speedrunning a game tends to be just playing through it as fast as possible normally. As far as Psychonauts 1, that was a really formative game for me to play in high school. I think I was about 15 when I played it. And at the time, the cultural conversation about it was that it was like one of the most beloved, like indie, ish, cult classics
Is it
of the
indie?
PS2 era. Well, Double Fine made it. They're like I think people call them like triple indie, where it's like an independent studio technically
sure.
because they have a small staff, but their games budgets are still in like the multi-millions.
Oof.
Yeah. I mean, that's nothing
crazy.
compared to most
Oh,
AAA
no, I
games
know,
now.
I know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Totally no. No, if anything, I'm just impressed that,
That they're able to make games on that kind of budget.
yeah,
Yeah.
that they were able to get to that point.
Yeah, definitely. I love Psychonauts. I think these days people look back on it as something that has aged a little bit rough. I wouldn't know because I haven't gone back to it since then. So I don't remember it being particularly janky or frustrating or anything. And I feel like the fact that my experience with it was pretty pure kind of crystallized it in my mind. The one thing I'll say is that the game gives you the ability to go inside people's minds. And that was the point where I was like, yes, I can't wait to see all the intricate, lovely little places that they designed for each of the camp members' minds. That's going to be so fun. Even if it's just like one small little area, I can't wait. And then you aren't able to go inside any of their heads. And I know that making a whole bunch of unique assets would be really expensive, but I spent the entire rest of the game like, yes, I'm going to get to do this now. And then it never happened, and then credits rolled, and I was so disappointed.
That was me waiting to unlock Crystal in Star Fox Adventure so I could enjoy her fox titties for the rest of the game.
Yeah, and then it never happened.
And then it never happened.
Bonus
Same
question.
thing.
Yeah, no, basically the same thing. Bonus question, do you like watching Sonic Adventure speedruns or speedruns in general? I used to be really into watching speedruns. I don't watch too many these days because I much rather, I know this is like lame, I much rather prefer watching videos about speedrunning.
I love Bismuth.
Yeah, Bismuth and
videos are amazing.
In particular, I really like Average Trey.
Average Trey's good.
His videos are really, really amazingly edited. That shit like puts me to shame. And they're so like, he's so good at explaining things in a way that makes like perfect sense. He's mostly a Mario Sunshine speedrunner, but he's done some videos on Mario Kart Double Dash.
Yeah, I was big on Sunshine.
Yeah. Yeah.
For a while, I was watching Mario Sunshine speedruns so often that like I would be present for them discovering new quote unquote tech.
Yeah,
like,
I remember that.
I remember when they like the Pina Park skip changed form.
Yeah,
a lot of times
yeah.
while I was watching.
Yeah,
That was
I
really
remember
exciting.
that. Yeah.
So I'd be like, wow, they got this new trick. They shaved like 10 whole seconds off. It's crazy.
Yeah, and then there was the whole thing where it was like, oh, like that skip is so hard to perform. So people
Yeah.
weren't even using it for a little while.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until people found more like consistent setups that it started getting used. Like I think we both watched all of that unfold.
Yeah, and then like that kind of thing is so like mainly documented through live streams among like hours and hours and hours of different streamers playing that like honestly retrospective videos and speedrunning like astound me because I can't believe someone can
Yeah, it really
compile
seems like you
that
just kind of have to
information.
be there.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm gonna grab something real quick.
You're good. Brittany Okahara asks, wondering if you like Shadow the Hedgehog the game. Encourages exploration and has a very unique and experimental vibe that I've always enjoyed. I feel like I would have a good time going back to that as someone who wasn't scared that it would get taken away from me because Shadow says damn.
I wish that game was not so hard.
Well, there's that balance that a friend of ours, balance patch that a friend of ours found.
Yeah, we are gonna play a fan patch for it that makes it a little less
tedious and a little easier.
So we'll see how I feel about it after we play that.
Beatman asks, what do you think of the Gravity Rush games? I really like what I played of the first one. It's got this really weird look to it, where like if I didn't know it was a Japanese developed game, I would almost guess that it was like a French game trying to go for an anime aesthetic. I really like what I played of it. I played it on Vita, but I didn't wind up finishing it. I've heard a lot of really interesting stuff about the second game because it's like sort of open world. Yeah. Blue Stocking asks, what do you think of Caroline Policeke? Because I joked in the last Q&A, somebody asked me my thoughts on Coraline, but spelled it Caroline. And I was like, which Caroline are we talking about? I mentioned Caroline Policeke. I'm honestly not very familiar with her stuff. I think it's like her big song. What is it? Like So Hot You're Hurting My Feelings?
Oh yeah, that one. That one's great.
Yeah, that's a really cute song with a really cute music video. That's about my only thought, unfortunately. Blue Stocking also asks, it feels like a lot of video game criticism on YouTube especially has already codified this idea of what makes a video game good. Stuff like level design, game mechanics, controls, and aesthetics. After seeing videos like this one and Thor High Heels' video on appreciating bad video game music, I wonder if you feel like we'll ever move away from attempts at objectivity and making excuses for a game's flaws, just learn to celebrate games for what they are.
God, I hope so.
It's so strange and sad to me that this is the only video I can think of that doesn't say, well, yeah, Sonic Adventure is good despite all the weird bugs and glitches, and instead of recognizing the Skung has something that makes the game so wonderful in the first place. Yeah, I fully agree with all of that. Shouts out to Thor. I think watching his videos really reinforced in me that I think the most important thing that we can do as people celebrating things we like is to not feel obligated to acknowledge the things about it that it's kind of like infamous for and sort of treat it as like a given. Sorry, maybe that's not quite how I want to articulate that. Like, the way that I've said it to other people in the past is like, when you are trying to celebrate something, I think that it is really easy to make concessions to what other people think you're going to, sorry, I keep losing my train of thought. I need your help, Alyssa. This is why you're here.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like, unfortunately, YouTube videos about things have really kind of been, maybe poisoned is a strong word, but feeling like they have to be reviews.
Yeah.
And obviously reviewers feel like they have to be kind of objective and acknowledge the flaws of a thing. And I don't think YouTube videos need to be reviews. Most people who watch YouTube videos, especially about things like video games, already like that thing.
Yeah.
They already know what its problems are.
The subsect of people who are going to a video to see if it's worth spending $60 on a video game is pretty slim.
Yeah, I imagine. So it's like, you know, it's kind of boring to talk about everything in terms of objectivity.
Yeah.
Especially something like a video game where I feel like it's about your experience. And it's
yeah.
Like, if you have fun with it, even if it's not objectively good, which is a phrase I hate, then is it not accomplishing its job as a video game, even if not in a developer intended way?
I got so many questions or so many comments on my Elfen Lied video that were like, how dare you try to imply that objectivity doesn't matter in art or doesn't exist in art?
Boy.
I was like, baby boy, that's a subjective opinion you're holding. But yeah, no, I mean, I just like, I think this is what I was trying to articulate earlier. When you are talking about something that is especially like a work of camp, there's a lot of pressure to kind of, there's a sense of obligation to say, like, look, I know that the acting is cheesy. I know that the effects are bad, but that's what I like about it. And I think even going so far as to say those elements in that particular way kind of reinforces the notion that those things have to be reassembled in a viewer's brain to be appreciated. Whereas I think like it can so often be a lot simpler than that. I think it can be really easy to just kind of take those things as a part of the aesthetic. And I think that any truly good piece of, or any truly special piece of art is able to, at least in some ways, benefit from its mistakes.
Yeah. And I don't know how dedicated to this opinion I am, but I'm gonna throw it out there because it's a thought I just had. I feel like maybe this is part of why Sonic has had such a hard time in the last several years making a game that truly made everyone happy.
Yeah.
Because I think in some ways, at least where the 3D era is concerned, some of the jankiness is what made them charming, whether it's jankiness in the gameplay, in the mechanics, and the story itself, and the characters. Like I said, like Big the Cat is not a character who would exist the way he does now. I don't think. Like I really believe that. And I think that the developers, in trying to artificially recreate those things, a la Sonic Forces being like way too self-serious, while failing to understand what made the self-seriousness of things like Shadow the Hedgehog and SA2 charming. Like they are struggling to find this balance of weird and genuinely good that they have sort of accidentally stumbled upon in the past, and it's making worse games. I don't know how true that is. That's also a pretty sweeping generalization. And also
I think that there are things about Forces that in retrospect we'll find very, very funny.
I hope so.
Because like
I almost feel like Forces is competent in a bad way that is going to make it worse. Like,
I'm thinking specifically about the story presentation.
Sure.
Like the 3-month time skip where everybody thinks that Sonic is dead is fucking crazy.
Yeah, and then he gets out and he's like, yeah, I was being tortured. Whatever. Let's get back to it, guys. I don't have PTSD. I'm Sonic the Hedgehog. I moved too fast for the trauma to catch up to me. It's like, okay, Sonic. Like, that part of it's funny, but man, I don't know. Something about that game is so, like, tiresome to me. But I know there's a lot of Zoomers who really like it, so maybe I'm just old nostalgic.
Like, that's the thing.
I'm fully willing to contend with the idea that I'm just nostalgic for the games that I like in the Sonic series, and that's the only reason I like them so much.
Well, you remember when the cultural zeitgeist said that Sonic Adventure 1 was trash, and Sonic Adventure 2 was trash, and it wasn't until people our age started making videos that people the cultural shift had turned a little bit. Well, and I think we're gonna see that with Sonic 06 pretty soon, and then much later we're gonna see that with Forces.
We're already seeing it a little bit with 06, and I think part of the anxiety surrounding 06 was, I mean, for one, it is quite literally a reboot. Like, it formats itself like a hard reboot on the series, on the story, on the setting, on the characters. I think people are really scared of that being the future of Sonic, and so it was like extra hated, including by myself. Like, I did not like 06 as a kid. I should have nostalgia for it, and I don't, because I did not love it as a kid. So, you know, in that regard, I do think my love for SA1 and 2 is pure.
How did you play that game as a kid? At a friend's house?
Okay, so I didn't technically play it, but I watched playthroughs.
And I feel like
I was afraid I wouldn't be allowed to play it because of Mephiles being too demonic.
That's really funny. I didn't play it growing up because I didn't have a console that it ran on. Sunil Newman asks, if you were given the opportunity to direct a new Sonic game, what would you plan to make? I really want to make, I really want Sonic Frontiers to be open world in like a very like, I think, where did I talk about this? I talked about this
on the
somewhere. Maybe on a stream. It might have been in a podcast.
I mean, I don't know what an open world Sonic game is going to look or feel like. I feel like it has no choice but to be kind of weird because I don't know, like, what is it going to go
I feel like
for?
something that almost feels like a theme park would be really nice.
Yeah.
This is going to sound so crazy. I honestly think that I would be down for a Sonic game that copies the tower-based format of, like, the Ubisoft open world. I haven't played any of those games, so getting to experience that format for the first time in a Sonic game I think would be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Plus, like, the thing about it is...
I want this to be the Dark Souls of Sonic. I don't think that's what you were saying at all.
Not at all. Sorry, I just bumped the thing the mic was standing
I'm
on.
gonna punch it.
Don't do that, please.
Okay.
I lost my train of thought, but that's okay. Oh, yeah. Nope, it's gone. I think if not that, I would just really like to see something that has, like, a big emphasis on, like, being very, like, visually diverse. I think that Forces in particular really suffers from feeling kind of homogenized. Like, each area feels very overly familiar to the Sonic franchise. Yeah. And beyond that, they just don't really stand out at all from one another. And I think that is the worst thing a Sonic game can be, is unambitious. Penny Vath asks, I love this style of video, just appreciating a game's pretty moments and environments. This has my head swirling with games I appreciate in a similar way. Do you think you have any other games you could do this with? Definitely Mario Sunshine. That's a game that I know inside and out. However, unlike with Sonic Adventure, I find myself having a harder time going back to Mario Sunshine each time I play through it. Because I kind of continually have to be confronted with the fact that there are a lot of missions where I open and I'm like, fuck, it's this one. I would really like to see a Mario Sunshine mod that just replaces the 7 Shadow Mario fights with, like, a Mario 64 style coin or a star goal. Just to kind of see how that would kind of reorient the kinds of levels that I would want to do and the ways that I would want to go and get shines.
Yeah. I love the setting of Sunshine, but I do feel like a lot of stuff I loved about the way it feels. Fortunately, I feel like Odyssey kind of perfected. Like, I loved how moving in Sunshine felt, but it was definitely a little stiff.
Yeah.
I feel like Odyssey perfected that. Like, moving in Odyssey is so much fun. The flexibility of different types of movement you can do is, like, exactly what I want from a good video game. Obviously, I think Odyssey lacks some of Sunshine's direction and some of its jank charm, but yeah, I think... What is that?
That's a good question. Oh, this, yeah. Oh. So Penny's other question is also went down a rabbit hole and backlogged and found Yumi Mix Remix for Sega Saturn. Thought you'd enjoy it if you hadn't already seen it. Yeah, this is like a I want to say this is like a
Whoa, are those lesbians?
Whoa, what?
Top right.
Whoa, hello, let's go. Oh, does it have an English translation? I'll have to check this out later. It looks kind of like a Galaxy Frontline Yuna in terms of being like a game that's very...
we gotta finish Galaxy Frontline. That was fucking lovely.
Yeah, this looks so
this
cute.
Is so cute. I love the style so much.
Yeah, this looks great.
Wait, scroll down. Scroll down. I need to see if that was a girl. Rie. Let me see that one. It's a girl.
Yeah, let's go, lesbians. See, this is why it's perfect to have you on. James Scott asks, watched your stream and really enjoyed it while I worked from home. In the stream, your wife mentioned having a Sonic OC back in the day, and I wanted to ask if you ever had one yourself. I did not.
Yeah, Hazel's not an OC guy the way I am.
Yeah.
I'm an OC guy. And you know, even as a kid, I felt a little cringy making self-inserts because I knew it was like a thing people made fun of, but I just couldn't help myself because I so badly wanted Shadow the Hedgehog to save me from my life. So, you know, the heart wants what the heart wants.
Yeah, you told a really cute story about that recently, but I won't put you on blast if you don't want to share
what was it?
It was while we were at the duck pond.
Which story was it?
It was the one about the OC in particular.
Did I not tell it on the stream?
You may have, but I didn't archive that stream.
Oh, okay. I mean, the story about my insert OC, her name was December the Angel Cat because she had angel wings, but she was a cat girl. And she had long brown hair like me and glasses. And she had a little stupid red shirt with like flared sleeves and bell-bottom jeans because I was obsessed with bell-bottom jeans as a kid. And the reason she's an angel... Or no, because she is an angel cat, she was being experimented on in a Robotnik research facility or something. And then, like, while trying to escape the facility, Shadow finds her, like, abandoned in the snow. So he, like, saves her. And then, like...
So cute.
Yeah, I don't remember what happened.
You have to draw her again. I want to see her.
I can draw her right now.
Oh fuck yeah, let's go. Wow, I just need to have you on for every single one of these. This is easily the best Q&A I've done. I wonder if people will be down for that.
If you guys like me, I'll come back, but if you hate me, I'll just die. It's fine. I don't care either way.
I definitely think that this is the most coherent my train of thought has been in one of these. Thank you so much for being my rock darling.
Yeah, of course.
Pinecone asks, have you seen an animated film called Nova Seed? I looked it up before I started recording. I hadn't heard of it. It looks fucking crazy. It looks like a rock and roll.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe I've seen gifs from this, yeah.
Yeah, this looks so crazy.
This is interesting.
I really appreciate that.
Is it new? It looks modern.
It does, yeah. I think it's probably within the last 10 years.
Okay.
Yeah, that's super cool. Alice Amity, excuse me, says, been playing Sonic Adventure for the first time and I love exploring the levels and just seeing how much chaos I can cause. I'm really glad to hear that. My question is, have you ever watched Gregory Horror Show? And if so, what do you think about it? I fucking love Gregory Horror Show.
We actually haven't watched the anime
I haven't
yet,
either, but I've played the game. I watched a really old Let's Play of it way, way, way back in the day, and I fell in love with it instantly, and it always plucked against the back of my mind as a thing that I knew I should experience. And then when I was still living in NorCal, I bought a copy because I found it for fairly cheap. I think I bought like a Brazilian copy, but because Brazil is like a European-owned territory, I think, unless I'm getting confused, it may have been a Spanish territory. Either way, it was like a PAL copy. I think it was a PAL copy from Brazil, so it had the English language option in it. Yeah, I just I bought a copy, and my darling wife Alyssa sent me her fucking Swap Magic disc.
Yeah.
And so I played it. I played it with her and with yeah, it was a great time. We actually never finished it. We still need to finish it.
Yeah, we like stopped right at the end because we got stuck.
Yeah, I adore that game. I adore games from that era that have that weird structure. If you like games like Shadow of Destiny, or even like Majora's Mask, I would absolutely say that trying to emulate that game or burning a copy of it or grabbing a copy is well worth it. I don't know how expensive that game is now. I got it a few years ago for $40, which was expensive, to be fair. That's like about as much as I would be willing to pay for a video game these days, period. But yeah, I adore that video game. Getting to play it felt a lot like actualizing a part of my childhood experience of being online and learning about weird shit.
Doesn't it feel good to be an adult and learn about some weird fucking obscure Japan only video game or whatever, and then you search it online and can have it instantly.
That was how I felt about Pointy's Point.
Yeah.
Except I literally bought that copy as soon as I learned about it. And it was so cheap too because nobody knew about it. People care now.
Well, yeah, but I cared about Pointy's Point before anybody else did.
We were the second people to do a Let's Play of that game on YouTube.
Yeah, I wish that was still around.
I'm glad it's not.
Yeah,
but,
I get why it's not. But.
Yeah. Arpeggio says, or rather asks, have you ever heard of or played Dujana? It's a very cool mixed media video game on itch with a lot of claymation.
Oh, haven't heard of it.
Yeah, I heard about it when it came out. I'll show you a still of it, Alyssa. It looks fucking crazy. I love how this game looks. I really like how it uses like really harsh colored grainy noise.
Yeah, I feel like with claymation, unless it's like super high budget claymation, obviously you get a lot of very smooth. I love how dense this feels.
This looks like
this is neat.
Yeah, the way it's using colored digital noise almost as like a replacement for like the kind of archetypical like Mobius cross hatching or like kind of like VHS almost style visual grain is something that I'm really excited about seeing more of in the future. I love harsh colored noise. I think it's a lot of fun. Yeah, it especially reminded me of the opening of Dragon's Heaven.
Yeah.
Good stuff. I like Dragon's Heaven a lot. Tim Lobster asks, what are some of your favorite shoegaze albums and artists? I gotta give it to both Meek Gazer compilations, the Miku Shoegaze records. Those are some of the most formative records that I have ever listened to. I adore them both. I love Pasteboard. They have an album called Glitter. It's their one and only record, and it's one of my favorite albums of all time. I've recently gotten really into Cold Heart of the Deepers. They're fucking amazing. Really, really cool, really exciting stuff. And then, oh gosh, there's so much. I used to listen almost like exclusively to shoegaze. What's that band? Kinoko Teikoku is another one I really like. What about you, Alyssa?
I had a phase where I listened to a lot of different shoegaze albums, but I didn't really like I enjoyed them, but I didn't internalize any of them as a particular favorite. Shoegaze for me is kind of more a thing I experience now and then than something I specifically seek out.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Definitely. I really...
I like it though.
I mean, it's such a basic answer, but I really do adore Loveless by My Bloody Valentine.
Yeah, me too.
I think that record's really great. I know I'm going to kick myself when I forget about a few others that I really love, but those are what come to mind right off the top of my head. If bands like Toddle and Bloodthirsty Butchers count, absolutely both of them, but I think they're a little bit on the cusp of being shoegaze in a lot of ways. Yeah. I like just like a lot of fast shoegaze. I think that's kind of an underrated archetype. Kinoe 64 is a Japanese Vocaloid shoegaze producer who I think is really amazing. I really like his stuff. And then I think that's about it. Nice. I'll shout out Wispy No Mercy by Citrus, even though that's decidedly a noise pop record. I think it comes just close enough that I can recommend it. BP. Yeah, they put out an album in like 97 called Golden BP. Literally just all caps, the letter B and the letter P.
BP's not.
And then a period. Very clever, Alyssa.
Thanks.
And it's this crazy blend of shoegaze and like dumb like butt oh my god, Black Sabbath worship, where like it'll be like a couple bars of butt rock, butt metal, and then a couple bars of shoegaze, and it's this.
Queen.
I know, I'm all out. Would you mind refilling this for me, darling? Thank you so much.
Busy trying to make cat girl.
I'm still recovering from being sick. Botology asks, which game has your favorite Sonic soundtrack? all the way 1000% Knuckles Chaotix, Sonic 06, Sonic Unleashed, Sonic 3D Blast, Sonic, oh shit, all the menu music in the Gems collection, but I think my number one has to be Sonic R. What about you, hon? Did I forget any?
SA2, SA1, 3D Blast, Sonic R are probably my top 4. That is 4, right?
I think so. It's fine. Christopher Roger Simmons asks, hi Hazel, do you have any favorite webcomics you'd like to talk about? You know, I did, P.S. I loved Peanuts as a kid and have family in Sonoma County. Snoopy fucking rocks. Represent.
Yeah. Hazel and I have been talking about maybe getting matching baby Snoopy tattoos.
Yeah.
I think I'm dedicated to the idea.
Me too. Favorite, I don't really read any webcomics now. I did a bunch in my teens, but I think a lot of those haven't aged very well. I really gotta say I had a weird experience being up until like 4 a.m. reading Mega Tokyo for a video that will come out at some point in 2022.
Favorite webcomics? I know I was huge into webcomics for a while because I had dreams of making one and of course never did because I'm a fuck up. Can't think of one.
Yeah. I really liked Octopus Spy as a teen. I don't know if that one holds up.
Recommended that. I never read it.
BF Coley asks, it's not SADX, but SA2B took up more of my time as a kid than I'd like to admit. I got so into it, learning about glitches and learning to use them to improve my times. I love that the super bounce glitch shows up every now and then in different titles. The Chow Garden, though, that was my jam. Did you ever deep dive into it? I think it's a bummer that it was seemingly discarded by Sega. Maybe it just wasn't as popular as it was with me. Bring the Chow Garden back, you cowards. I think that's every single Sonic fan has been asking that.
Garden to come back,
and I agree.
I literally don't know. My only theory is that it might be tied up in some kind of... This is just me fucking game theorizing with no reason to think this, but I feel like maybe there is a copyright issue with the person who wrote the code for the A-Life system from Knights.
Yeah.
And that maybe that person has retained some kind of rights to the
Although
Chow
if that
Garden
was the case, I wonder if the ports wouldn't happen at the frequency that they do.
Ports of those games?
Yeah. I'm not really sure.
I mean, they probably retain rights to it as it exists in those games, but maybe not to make new ones.
Yeah.
That could be totally, like, not even true. I could be fucking bullshitting, but that is the only reason I can think of why Sega has not, like, made good on how much people fucking love the Chow Garden.
Alyssa, I want you to talk about your experience with the Chow Garden growing up. I will be right back.
Hazel didn't play the Chow Garden as much. I was huge into the Chow Garden. I was obsessed with it even. I played it more than the actual main game. I was digging up some of my old childhood diaries recently, and I found a diary entry that I wrote melodramatically because my first Chow was dying because I didn't understand how to keep your Chow alive forever. And I had written, his brother is next, I'm sure of it. that cracked me up. Yeah, I mean, I played the Chow Garden nonstop. It was the shit. And I loved how much flexibility there was in, like, Chow genetics. I remember I discovered two-tone Chow before there had been any easy to find online documentation of two-tone Chow as a thing you could do. I remember I made a web page about how to make it and, like, my theories for what other types of two-tone Chow one could possibly make. And I think, unfortunately, this website's long gone, but I think the website included, like, shaky, like, Polaroid photos of the TV screen, showing my two-tone chow to prove it was real. And yeah, my love for chow runs deep. Hazel's gone now, and now I'm doing that thing I was saying where I'm talking to myself, and it's kind of weird. I ran out of things to say, so...
I love chow, and I think they're very cute.
Welcome back.
That's my only thought. I think the chow are so very cute.
I love them.
My favorite Discord emote is just one of a chow dancing very vigorously in a circle.
I love that one.
I'll have to rip that one so that you can use it.
Yeah, I want that one.
Yeah, I'll put it in our
secret.
Our little wife server.
Our wife Discord.
Ash Dream Thief asks, do you have a favorite version or mix of Open Your Heart? I'm partial to the original mix on the Dreamcast, but I know plenty of people prefer the extended album version, the one from Best of Crush 40, or even the version from Generations. I gotta say, I don't know what the difference is. Do you?
I don't remember preferring any of the future versions.
Yeah.
I like the original. They all slap, though.
Yeah.
It's a banger.
Yeah. I gotta say, though, I love the character themes. All of them I love more than Open Your Heart, which I think is maybe a little bit sacrilegious. Because Open Your Heart is amazing, but I just love those character themes.
Maybe their character songs I like more, but in terms of like getting me fucking pumped,
yeah,
Open Your Heart is the goat.
I still can't believe how good that Sonic stream was. That made me so happy.
Yeah. Oh, the music stream.
Yeah. Sorry, I should have specified.
Thought you meant ours.
No.
Like, yeah, I mean,
the official stream.
We did a pretty good job.
Yeah, seeing everyone come together. Like, people who didn't even like Sonic being like, oh, okay, word. I didn't realize Sonic went off this hard.
Yeah.
It made me really happy.
Yeah, me too. I love Sonic.
A little friend called Jonathan Yee asks,
Jonathan, hello.
Dear Hazel, what do you think is next for our fast blue friend? As in, what kinds of creative risks would you want to have Sega make for Sonic's next big adventure? Is Sonic formed by the zeitgeist, or does he create the zeitgeist? Also, what's your favorite Sonic fan work of all time? Be it fan games, sprite comics, or Flash animations? Oh, so many good questions.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jonathan.
Damn.
Goodness gracious. I feel like it's so hard to know what's next for Sonic because the like mainstream development space takes so long to bear fruit these days that I think it's a little bit hard for games coming out not to feel a little bit antiquated on release, it seems like.
Yeah. Or at least predictable to some degree.
Yeah. Like predictable within the trends of everything else coming out. So I wouldn't be surprised if whatever happens next for Sonic isn't necessarily earth-shattering or super exciting or anything, but it's just kind of a fun novelty. And I don't even say that like
I'm fine with that.
I don't say novelty in the way some would say like an app is a novelty. But I think you know what I mean. Is Sonic formed by the zeitgeist, or does he create I think he used to create the zeitgeist.
I don't think.
And I think now he's informed by it, which is sad.
Yeah.
Favorite Sonic fan work? Shit. I feel like there are definitely some fan games.
Trolled.
Oh yeah, Tails Gets Trolled is actually probably my answer. If not that though, I really like what's going on with Sonic Roboblast 2.
Oh, which one's that?
That's the kart. It has like the kart racer variant to it.
Oh, right.
I just think it's really cool that it is as robust and weird and has such a strong community as it has. I think that's really cute. I don't know. What about you?
You know, I don't engage with a lot of Sonic fan projects. I will say the Chow Island game, I was like pretty amazed by that. Unfortunately, I don't think the person's doing development on it anymore because I imagine it's a shit ton of work.
Yeah.
But I was really impressed by what they were able to accomplish with it, and if you haven't played the Chow Island fan game yet, I highly recommend it because it helps scratch that unscratched itch for new Chow content.
Yeah. Caleb Gillen asks, are there any other Sega franchises that you're very into? I mean, I like a lot of them. A little bit more passively than Sonic, but like I really like Knights. I really like Shenmue from what little I've played. Excuse me, it's actually pronounced Shunmu. I found that out recently.
Really?
Yeah, that's because it's a Chinese word. So the Chinese pronunciation is Shunmu.
See, I've been pronouncing it in my head Shenmue.
Yeah.
So I really fucked up.
Yeah. Oh man. I've never actually played it, but I love the idea of Space Channel 5.
Yeah.
There are a lot of really good, weird one-off Sega franchises that I really like.
Monkey Ball.
Oh yeah, Monkey Ball, of course. Yeah, Monkey Ball's amazing. There are definitely so many others that I know I'm blanking on right now. Help me out, Wikipedia. This is a weird one, but I actually really like Alex Kidd.
Really?
I guess technically Bayonetta is a Sega franchise.
Oh yeah, there's that official art of Bayonetta and Sonic and a bunch of other Sega characters together. It fucking slaps. It's like a Christmas picture.
Yeah.
'Tis the season.
Fighting Vipers. Gotta give it to Fighting Vipers. That's one for sure. I didn't know that Growlancer is Sega published, but I guess I haven't played any of those games, but I gotta give it to him on principle for having all the Satoshi Urashihara art. I'm sure you've seen this stuff.
Yeah.
That's the plastic little dude.
Right.
But those aren't necessarily, a lot of those aren't developed by Sega, they're just published. Soccer Wars seems really cool. I would really like to get deeper into it.
I've always been interested in it.
Yeah. I'm literally just going down a list right now. If Wonderboy counts, which I think it technically does.
Wonderboy is cute.
Wonderboy, the Switch game that came out, the Switch remake that came out when the Switch launched, is like one of my favorite Switch games.
Yeah, it's great.
And then I also really adore Monster World 4. I think that's like actually one of the best games ever. TK says, I've noticed that some of the naming conventions for the hedgehogs in Sonic seem to be around non-tangible consequences of other things, like shadows or sounds. Do you feel like ripple, as in the drop of water made a ripple on the surface, would make for a reasonable hedgehog name or nickname? I think it could work for water-based or Murr hedgehogs, a good counterpoint to one of Sonic's downfalls, Shoulder Deep Water. Other possible names in this convention for your possible amusement: Ray, Halo, Aura, Shine, or most doubtfully Whiff. Be well. Yeah. I love that. That's so good.
I like the thought you put into this.
That's so good. I feel like there's not even anything else I could contribute. You know?
Yeah. Keep at it. I like your hedgehog names.
Yeah.
I like the thought put into that. Like, sorry to bring this up again, but like Final Fantasy XIV has a bunch of naming conventions surrounding each unique species. So my favorite one is the orc species. Tends to have really simple names because they're often mercenaries for hire to other countries. So they're used to being exposed to a lot of other cultures, so they like to have easily understood names. So it's usually adjective, simple noun. So like my friend has an orc woman and her name is Empty Glass, and that is complicit with the naming conventions for that species.
That's fun.
I like the idea of hedgehogs having a naming convention in the Sonic
like warrior
world.
cats.
Yeah.
Omen Machine asks, have you played any of the original Spyro games, and what are your thoughts on them? I love the PS1 Spyro games. I think those games, the lighting in them carries a lot of the same appeal that like Nights into Dreams does, where like it's really like rich and saturated.
Rainbow-y.
Yeah, rainbowy. Yeah. I love those games. Spyro's cute.
He is very cute.
And then Omen Machine also asks, do you have any other busy or dense music recommendations in the same vein as Boris? Boredoms for sure. Their albums Vision Creation, New Sun, and Super AE, I think is the name of the record, are the two that I'm most familiar with. But I think they definitely scratch a similar itch in terms of the more experimental stuff that Boris has done. And then as for the more like the noisier, kind of more brash stuff, definitely bands like Coulter of the Deepers, excuse me. Hurry Up Snufkin asks, what is the best overdrive for Shoegaze, and why is it the Boss BD2?
Damn.
Also, did you choose it for this video because of that, or because it's blue, like Sonic, or both? I actually picked it because it is the main distortion that I use in my pedal board. Every now and again I'll switch to a, what is it called? The Way Huge Saucy Box. The Way Huge Saucy Box, which is like a clone that has like a high cut knob, and then just like a drive and a volume. Both of those pedals I got from my old bandmate. One was a gift, and one I traded him for a Shure SM457. Yeah, an SM57, because I think that microphone's a mid. And yeah, I really adore the BD2. I originally I was going to say the DS1, because I think that's a little bit more fitting, because it's such a blown out cheap like punk rock guitar pedal, but I wound up going with the BD2 for the analogy, because I know that is something that's on Hisako Tabuchi's pedal board, the lead guitarist of Number Girl, and also because originally I was thinking that I was just going to take footage of me hitting the pedal, but I didn't feel like recording it in the moment, and I thought it would be funnier to use the Italian American emoji hand to turn on the pedal. So that was my really extensive thought process for that. I didn't even think about the fact that it was blue like Sonic. Circular Fountain asks, did you play Ball and Wonderworld? Also unrelated, but what did you think of Wadham? So I actually played the demo, and I was very harsh on it because I'd played it on Switch like a dingus. I want to play that game when it gets cheap enough that I can get it for like nothing, and I want to play it on like PS4, where it'll actually look decent. However, I guested on a video that a friend of the show, Armuda, made about Ball and Wonderworld. That video is like 2 hours long. It's a good time.
I cannot wait to watch it. I've been meaning to since
Yeah, I contributed some voice lines to it for a very, very chaotic section about the book being weird. And then I didn't play Wadham, although I know this is going to sound weird, but I feel like I had a similar issue watching a little bit of footage of Wadham that I did with Ball and Wonderworld, which is that both games refuse to use any language when telling their stories or their mechanics, and I'm a fucking idiot. So anytime a game does that, I'm lost instantly, because I don't I always horribly misread anything that a game like that is trying to convey to me, because I just like overthink things and I get things wrong. That's why I have a lot of difficulty getting into Zelda games, is because a lot of their visual language I just completely woefully misinterpret. And that's all of our questions.
Wow,
thank you all so much for asking all of this. This was a lot of fun. I don't know how long we went, but I have to imagine it was pretty long. So thank you all for your patience. And yeah, thank you, Alyssa, for being on. I would like to continue having you on. You made this far easier.
I would be happy to if your patrons are okay with that.
Yeah, so let me know, patrons and viewers who just happen to watch this isolated. The answer is very, I can tell you that right now. But yeah, thank you. And thank you again for being patient about the delay on this. I know this is supposed to go up on Wednesday.
Hazel was dying.
I was like, I was having a rough one. I felt really bad. I still don't feel 100% today, but I felt better enough to do this. I knew that I needed to get back on the horse because I have 2 very long videos that I want to get out before the end of the year that I'm equally excited about. And so, speaking of that, we're going to get to work on that because we're collaborating on that video. So Alyssa's going to record her section right as soon as I hit finish on this. So thank you all so much.
Okay.